What's going on, investors? My name is Emmanuel and I have some breaking news regarding ChargePoint. The ticker symbol is SBE, and it actually was the investors in my Discord that alerted me to another major competitor. And trust me, investors, this competitor has more charging units approved by the UK government than ChargePoint currently has. Also, this competitor's products might also be cheaper than ChargePoint's. So this company could be a massive threat to ChargePoint and also for us SBE shareholders, but they could also be potentially a much better investment alternative. So you need to be made aware of who this competitor is. But as well as that, news did emerge recently regarding the merger date, which we were expecting to be announced on December the 15th, but that didn't occur. Instead, we now have a new merger date that's been set for next year, and this could have some serious implications to the stock price and also to us SBE shareholders. So here's what we will be covering in this video. Number one, we'll be taking a detailed look into SBE's recent SEC filings that also suggest the new merger date. Number two, we'll look into how this could potentially affect the share price going forward. Number three, I will unveil who ChargePoint's biggest threat is, and also I will show you the current list of UK government approved charge points for workplaces and also for home charging stations across the country. And lastly, number four, I'll be telling you exactly what I plan to do with all this information, because there is a massive spoiler at the end of the video. So make sure you watch until the end. But with that said, don't forget to join my Discord group where we talk about all things stocks, including ChargePoint. It was my Discord group that actually alerted me to this. So definitely join if you are interested. The link is in the description below and it is currently free. Don't forget to destroy the like button. It lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. And if you are new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with all the stocks that I am buying, selling, and all the stocks that are currently on my watch list. So with that said, let's dive straight into the video. So Switchback Energy Acquisition Corp, again ticker symbol is SBE, recently submitted a filing to the SEC on the 15th of December 2020. Now the form goes into great detail regarding the different proposals as well as different protocols. However, the most important part of this filing for us investors is information regarding the merger. And this can be found on page 7. So if you are doing your own due diligence, it's on page 7. Now, for the sake of the length of this video, I won't read through this entire paragraph line by line. However, the basic premise is SBE stockholders, which is us, as well as existing ChargePoint warrant and option holders, will not be able to exercise their positions until the assuming closing date of January 15th, 2021. However, upon closer inspection of the wording that they used in this sentence, noticed that they stated assuming the closing date of January 15th. And that's because in the following paragraph, they actually mentioned that the use of January 15th, 2021 as the assumed closing date throughout this proxy statement, prospectus, consent solicitation statement is for illustrative purposes only, and is not intended to be used as a projection of the actual closing date, meaning this merger might not even close on January 15th, 2021, and we could even face further delays and further pushbacks. Now, in my last ChargePoint video where I answered your questions, I did say that this was a possibility, and this was the fundamental reason as to why I didn't load up on my position with ChargePoint in the first place, especially while it was in the teens. So the fact that we do not have a concrete date set for a potential merger, for me, is starting to look like a bit of a red flag, okay? And I think this significantly increases the risk of investing at these current evaluations. Now, before I reveal ChargePoint's biggest threat, let's take a look at the share price action for ChargePoint and how I think this will affect the share price going forward. Now, I initially purchased shares at $19, roughly about $19 a piece, right before it had its crazy run up on the 19th of November. And then I did sell out of my entire initial investment, and I took roughly about 35% of my profits off the table at roughly about $33 a share. The share price dropped and made lower highs at $24 a share, only to rebound and set new highs at $44 a share. And it has since set a new lower high at roughly $34 a share. So from a technical analysis standpoint, we are at a critical juncture right now. Because if price breaks and falls below $34 a share, that would indicate a more bearish sentiment. Whereas if we were to respect these levels, then it could indicate a more bullish sentiment and price could go up further. But obviously, as long-term investors, it will be great to see if we can break these levels and possibly downtrend lower, because again, that will create more buying opportunities for us investors to get in much cheaper. However, before you consider buying more ChargePoint, if this breakout was to occur, let's now turn our attention to who I think ChargePoint's biggest threat is. And also let's determine whether it might be worth investing in that company as opposed to ChargePoint, especially considering ChargePoint's uncertainty with their merger date. So this company is called EVBox and the ticker symbol is TPGY, and they are also a SPAC that will be taking EVBox public. Now, of course, they are a player in the EV charging sector, but interestingly, they are operational in 70 plus countries and they have 2,000 charging points installed globally. Now, in comparison to ChargePoint, they have between 114 to 118,000 charge points installed globally. So straight off the bat, EVBox already has a lot more charging stations available than ChargePoint currently does, which is very, very interesting. But investors, the plot thickens because the UK government recently updated their list of approved home charging stations, and they included the manufacturers and the models. And as you can see from this list, we only have 4 models approved by the UK government that belong to ChargePoint. And this is their CPH32 P1L8 models, which are their home charge station models, okay? Right now, according to the website, they're compatible with the likes of Mitsubishi, the Nissan Leaf, BMWs, the Mercs, the Tesla Model S, X, and Tesla Model 3s. They also have Volvo and so on and so forth. So this is all positive stuff for ChargePoint. But, and you probably already knew a but was coming. However, EVBox currently has over 10 of their ChargePoint units approved for use by the UK government. I mean, ChargePoint has 4, while EVBox has 10 or over 10. I mean, this is not looking good for ChargePoint right now. I have to be honest. But I did go a step further and I discovered a government approved website which allows EV users to purchase these charging stations, and they will also install them for a fee. Okay, so that's expected. But as you can see on the left hand side of this website, you have a list of all the approved brands and EV charging providers. And as you can see, you have ChargePoint and EVBox listed. Now, when you select ChargePoint, you'll be able to see all 4 of their models that have been approved. And equally, you can do the same with EVBox and all the other manufacturers. But let's do a quick price comparison. So I tried to get similar specs for EVBox and ChargePoint's units, and I did find one where they both provide 7.4 kilowatts type 2 and have an 8-meter lead. And ChargePoint came up a bit more expensive compared to EVBox. I mean, to be honest, the difference is only £25, all right? It's not a huge difference, but that £25 could be a deal breaker. I mean, we all like to feel like we're getting the best deal for our money, you know, the best bang for our buck, right? So that could be a deal breaker. Now let's move on to the share price, because EVBox, ticker symbol TPGY, is currently trading at $25 a share. But bear in mind, it's already experienced its massive run up following the merger announcement just a few weeks ago. And of course, with ChargePoint, we already know that it's trading a lot richer than EVBox at $36 a pop. So with all that we've discussed, what will I be doing with all of this information? My initial reaction was obvious. You know, I wanted to sell all of my ChargePoint shares as soon as market opens on Monday and invest everything into EVBox. I mean, think about it. They have more units approved by the UK government. They have cheaper products. They have a much larger network than ChargePoint does, and their share price is cheaper. So it seems like a no-brainer, right? Well, I have discovered something, and this is the spoiler that I said I had for you at the beginning of the video. And I think personally it's an incredible move by ChargePoint, because they created a ChargePoint network open for all scheme, which offers this roam freely service for EV users. And the basic premise of this is, at ChargePoint, our goal is to get everyone behind the wheel of an EV and make it easy to charge wherever they go, even if a station isn't on the ChargePoint network. We believe the best way to make this happen is with peer-to-peer roaming agreement between charging networks. Peer-to-peer roaming doesn't add surcharges for the driver, it eliminates any middlemen, and it provides access to more drivers without any additional effort for station owners. Best of all, the driver doesn't have to sign up for any additional accounts or networks. Everything is taken care of by the existing network. This makes it all convenient for the EV drivers, and they also went on to say that it increases their choice of where they charge. I mean, this initiative is simply brilliant, because guess who they have partnered with this scheme? EVBox. So I think this is brilliant. I mean, they are working together to essentially push the EV narrative, and ultimately, in my opinion, it's the consumer or it's the EV driver who wins, because as they stated, there will not be any additional surcharges. So with that said, I don't think I'll be selling any of my ChargePoint shares. However, I will look for opportunities to start building a position in EVBox, because I think there is room for growth for both of them. Because if you look at their locations, ChargePoint has a more significant reach in the North American market, while EVBox has a much better reach within the European market. So by investing in both companies, you're pretty much covering both America and Europe. And the fact that they are willing to work together as well is simply a bonus in my book. So if you want to know when I will start investing in EVBox, then you need to join my Discord group. The link is available in the description below. But with all that said, please make sure that you do your own due diligence and your own analysis before you decide to invest in any stock or in any company. Remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please view my content as purely educational and not investing advice. But if you do want to learn about investing in stocks, there are some useful links in the description below. Don't forget, destroy that like button if you gained some value from this video. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.